Hi, my name is Tim, and in this video I'm going to guide you through the proper procedure for diagnosing a faulty defrost thermostat on the heat pump simulator. Now the defrost thermostat is located on the outdoor coil and is really there to sense the presence of frost on the coil. Heat pumps have a defrost cycle and periodically are going to need to melt the frost from the coil so that you don't have obstructed airflow. And it's an intricate component within that defrost system. Now to begin with, we want to click the system selector switch to the heat position. This will also turn up the temperature setting so it won't be necessary to use the up and down arrows here. Click OK in the procedure guide at the top and refer to that after each step. Next, we want to see which loads are actually running. We're going to start at the indoor unit and we're going to remove the cover and click OK. And we can see that our indoor blower is in fact running as evidenced by these spinning arrows. So we're going to click yes, and now we're going to proceed to the outdoor unit. And we can look at the outdoor unit and we can see that the outdoor fan is running. So we're going to click yes. And our compressor is also running as evidenced by these spinning red arrows here at the bottom. So we're going to click yes there. Now, what you can do here is to check the heater also, but you did notice that frost on that outdoor coil, but let's make sure the indoor heater or the second stage heat is functioning. Now to do this, take your clamp on ammeter and I'm going to slide it out of the way a bit, and you're going to drop it on the line voltage connection of the auxiliary heat relay. And when we do this, we can see that our heater is drawing 30 amps, so our electric heater is functioning. So again, all our major loads are operational, okay? But this is our problem. We've got frost covering this coil, meaning we're not going to be able to absorb very much heat due to this obstruction of the airflow. And something's seriously wrong here with the defrost system. Again, this frost should be removed periodically. So is there frost on the outdoor coil? Well, yeah, there is, and it's pretty substantial. We're going to open the control panel here, and I'm going to rotate around so we can see inside of it. And we're going to investigate three components here. First is the Defrost Board, which is shown right here. Now the Defrost Board integrates a timer which will attempt to send the unit into defrost at intervals of about every 90 minutes. The Defrost Board also houses the defrost relay, which does a couple things. One, when it goes into defrost, it sends power to the reversing valve solenoid to shift the reversing valve to essentially the cooling position so that hot gas or discharge gas coming out of the compressor gets routed to the outdoor coil to melt that frost off the coil. The other thing the defrost relay will do is turn off the outdoor fan motor. And what this does is it'll retain heat on that outdoor coil and not dissipate it so that the coil defrosts much more quickly. The third component is our defrost thermostat. Now, if I open the panel here, the defrost thermostat, you can see these two red wires here going to the defrost thermostat, and it's mounted right to the outdoor coil. And what it does is it closes at about 35 degrees, give or take a few degrees, depending on manufacturer. And it essentially senses the presence of frost. So if the defrost thermostat is not closed, the board will not go into defrost at those 90-minute intervals. It'll pretty much wait until there's frost on the coil and that defrost thermostat closes. So armed with those three components, it's a pretty easy checkout here. After you've clicked OK on the procedure guide, you're going to jumper these two pins on the defrost board. And what this is going to do, it's going to bypass the timer mechanism, and it's also going to bypass the defrost thermostat. Now, if we jumper the pins, and the unit goes into defrost and it melts the frost from the coil, well, that indicates our defrost thermostat is our issue. However, if it doesn't go into defrost, it's possibly that the board is bad or possibly the reversing valve solenoid could be faulty as well. So let's click on those two little test pins and we'll place a jumper across them. And when we do that, does the coil defrost? Well, yeah, and it happened kind of quickly there. The coil has defrosted. Now, what this means is that the defrost thermostat is our culprit here. Now, for further verification, you could turn off the power and disconnect the defrost thermostat wires and do a simple resistance check across them. You should read 0 ohms if it's closed. If it's open, you're going to obtain a reading of infinite resistance, or OL, on the meter. But we're just going to click OK here on the procedure guide at this point. And we know the coil defrosted, so we're going to click yes. And now we're going to go to the defrost thermostat and replace it. Don't forget to turn the power off first. Click on the component, and click Replace on the menu, and this will replace the defrost thermostat and solve our problem. Now, before you leave the job, it's really important to observe one full cycle of operation to ensure all loads are operating properly. And also, I would pull the indoor air filter and replace it if necessary. Last but not least, go up to the residence and make sure that heat is being delivered. And we can see from the graphic here with the floor register that we are in fact sending warm air to the space. So we've solved the problem. If you want to review any of these steps that we just took, simply click this top left icon and you can review each of the steps in order. Good luck on those future service calls, and I'll see you back here soon. Thanks for watching. You can try our on-demand VR-enabled learning for HVAC by signing up for a free trial. Go to interplaylearning.com to get started.